Hi, in this video we're going to discuss mouse and keyboard maneuvers. First is mouse pointing. So to point at something with my mouse, I'm not actually clicking any buttons or pressing any buttons. I'm just hovering over something and allowing it to be pointed at. Hovering, which is slightly different. Pointing I can do very quickly. Hovering requires me to hover my mouse over something and wait. Often with hovering, I get a short message or some type of information about what I'm hovering over. If I'm hovering over an open program, as you can see on the taskbar, I get a brief preview of the application that's open. So clicking, which is slightly different than hovering or pointing, actually involves pressing the left mouse button and releasing it. So if I want to click on document 1 here, I've actually selected that item by left-clicking my mouse button, pressing it, and releasing it. On the desktop, on my computer, to open a program requires a double click, but on my taskbar, opening a program can be done with a single click. So if I click on any of these programs, I actually get that program to open up. So double clicking is the action of a single click quickly twice. So I'm single clicking, pressing and releasing my left mouse button 2 times in a row quickly. So if I double click on doc 1, it's actually going to open that document. If I double click on doc 2, it'll open that document, which is empty. Right clicking a document or anything on your computer often gives you a submenu. So if I right click on my background, that's pressing the right mouse button and releasing it, I get a pop-up menu of different options available on my computer. This may look different on your computer depending on what you have installed. If I right-click on this document, I get a different set of options. If I right-click on Internet Explorer, I again get even a different set of options. So right-clicking is a quick way to get to options related to a particular program. The act of selecting means that I am selecting something on my computer. With shortcuts like this, I can select them simply by clicking on them, or I can select all of these by holding my left mouse button down and dragging over top of each icon. So if I hold my left mouse button, drag my mouse over top of each icon, that selects each of those icons. If I let go, they're all still selected. I can right click and possibly do something with them. I could drag them all to the recycle bin, drop them in the recycle bin, and they're all deleted. So right-clicking on the recycle bin, I can open it. I can select those documents again, same way I did when they were on my desktop. Left-click and hover over each. And I can right-click on them and restore. That puts them back on my desktop. Another way to select multiple items is to left-click on the first item, hold down my Shift key, and left-click again on the last item that I want to select. So if I want to select document 1, 2, 3, and 4, I would click on the first, hold down the Shift key, click on the fourth, and that selects each of the items in the sequence. Again, if I wanted to do 2 through 5, I would click on 2, hold down my Shift key, click on 5, and that selects each of the items from 2 to 5. So that's some of the more basic mouse maneuvers. Let's open up document 1 here by double clicking on it. And we're going to talk about keyboard shortcuts. So when you see something like this, Control plus C, what that means is to hold the Control key that we have highlighted in green here, and then press the C key while the Control key is still held down. And that's a Control C combination. If it were Control Z, I would press and hold the Control key and then hit the letter Z. The Windows key on a keyboard is this key between Control and Alt on the left side of your keyboard with the little Windows logo on it. Sometimes the Windows key is used in a key combination to do certain things in certain programs. The arrow keys do exactly what you might think. There's an arrow pointing in each direction, up, down, left, and right. If I place my mouse cursor here, I can go left, I can move my cursor left by using the left arrow key, or I can move my cursor right by using the right arrow key. Same with up and down. The arrow keys are quite popular and useful in programs such as WordPad or Microsoft Word or Excel. And the last key I wanted to show you is the tab key. And the tab key indents to the next tab setting. So for example, if I put my mouse right at the beginning of this line and I hit the tab key, I'm indenting to the next tab row. If I want to go in reverse, I can hit the backspace button and that'll undo my tabs. Another popular use of the tab key is selecting sequential items. Say for example, I select this menu and I click tab once, my new option is selected. If I click tab again, it advances to the next sequential item. I can go all the way down this list. Shift tab goes in reverse, just like that. And then if I want to actually perform the action that I'm hovered over, I would hit the enter key. So if I wanted to create a new document here, instead of clicking on new, I could simply hit the enter key. Asks me, do I want to save my changes to the current document? I'm going to hit cancel. Shortcut keys separated by commas is another popular use of shortcuts. For example, Alt FP means that I would press the Alt key, press and release. And you'll notice when I did that, I get some options up here. The F, the H, the V, the 1, the 2. So if I press the F key next, that opens the menu. And if I press the P key next, that actually prints the document. So Alt FP is a keyboard shortcut sequence that would allow me to print this document. The Windows key that we discussed earlier is the special key on the keyboard with the Windows logo, like you see here. If I press that key, it automatically pops up the Start menu of Windows. There are other cases where that key is used as a shortcut to different things, but primarily it's used to automatically pop up your Start menu. I can use the arrow keys to navigate through my Start menu. If I want to open something, say I want to open Notepad, and I've got it selected by using the arrow keys, I can hit enter, and my Notepad is opened. So Start, say we'll go to Calculator next, hit enter, and automatically my calculator is opened. I never used my mouse for any of those functions. And last but not least, we're going to use cut and paste. So cut and paste is quite popular within programs. It's also something you can do when you're copying a program shortcut or anything. Just about anything in Windows can be cut and paste. So let's say I want to cut this word key. I would select the word by holding my left mouse button down and dragging over top of the key of whatever I wanted to select until I have selected what I need to cut. So once I've selected key, like you see here highlighted in blue, I can right click on the selected portion, and that gives me a cut, copy, and paste option. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So you can see the word key is gone now. And maybe I want to place it down below the picture. So if I click in the blank area down below the picture and I right click, I get the option to paste. So I just cut and paste the word key. Let's say I want to cut this word Windows. So I would left click and select it, right click and cut, and I want to paste it in a completely different program. I'll click on my Start menu, go to the Notepad, right click and paste, and there's Windows. Another thing cutting and pasting is useful for is, say I want to cut this document and paste it into the recycle bin. There are much easier ways to do that, but it is possible. I can cut a document from one place and paste it to another place. So that's it for our keyboard and mouse maneuvers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.